Welcome back to another installment of Married at First Sight Chicago, Season 18, Episode 9. Hit the like and subscribe button as the intro plays. Okay, if you're new here, you must know I don't go through every frame of every episode. I just kind of talk about the people and make fun of them. So if you don't like making fun of people, then this might not be your channel because I do a lot of making fun.
Okay, girl, bye.
Bye. Anyhow, and speaking of making fun, let's make fun of the first two. You know, on the internet, some people have been saying that, what's his name? Allan looks like a cartoon character. Any guesses? And they've been saying that his wife, Madison, looks like a cartoon character. Any guesses who? But the real deal is Madison hosted the last episode, a flag football game where all the couples came. But guess who didn't come? Allan. Why? Because she said Allan was hungover. And when this episode started, Allan was still laying in bed, and she came in and asked him how he was. He said, "I'm fine." And she basically said how she was disappointed that he didn't show up. And he basically said, "I'm disappointed with this whole experience because, hey, I didn't feel like you wanted to be with me at my party." Although she did throw a party for him, and he had a lot of shots, got drunk. So why would you plan something for the next day after a night of drinking? But that's on you because, younger people can sometimes brush it off. But anyhow, so let's get into Camille and Thomas. Okay, so Thomas, after the flag football game, was sore. So Camille said, "I'll stretch you out, Thomas." And she did, and he loved it. And so Camille and Thomas, they seem to be doing okay. Camille's been getting all this flack. And it seems that Camille's story this season, the producers, her repetitive story, because every story on the show is repetitive, is that you don't have enough swag. And the internet has been buzzing and going in on her saying she's plain Jane, doesn't have swag. But and I said this in my last video, swag isn't only being flashy, or having style isn't only being flashy.
If you know the song, sing along.
But of course, black people see people with name brands and all that stuff as style and swag and coolness.
Enough is enough.
But why can't she just be kind of minimalist? Okay, so Camille actually took Thomas to a jeweler to get some earrings, and Thomas says, "Hey, but I feel like, okay, as I'm defending Camille, why would you take him there?" But I do believe that was a production thing. Hey, go get him some jewelry, some blinged out jewelry. If anybody ever says bling, 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 that was such a dumb scene to me. And he tries on some necklaces, which actually did give him some swag. It gave his swagger meter went up, so they ended up, consummating the marriage. And so I guess she's over it. She said, "I don't mind that your smile is upside down. I don't mind that you're frowning at all times, even when you're laughing, but he must have put it down." We'll see next episode, maybe, if it really was good. We'll see by the way she acts and the way she moves and treats him. Is he touching him? They did kiss on this episode, so that was something. And when he was getting emotional with Dr. Pia, she did start rubbing the back of his neck because, he mentioned that, you need to let people know that you love them when they're here because you never know when they were gone. So I think he was talking about his father, but, so they definitely got close. But we'll see in the upcoming episodes what it really means just by the way she treats him. So that's them. And so let's just go into Michelle and David. Michelle took David to her esthetician to get his eyebrows done or her eyebrows done. I hope she's not her esthetician because I know, and I don't want to be foul, but Michelle has some discoloration in her skin. So maybe this lady just does her eyebrows. And she said she was from the same hometown as Michelle, the small town where Michelle's from, that she doesn't want to go back to. And I think you all owe me an apology from last week. Not that anybody doubted, but I said this from jump. When Michelle was talking to Dr. Pia later on in the episode, she mentioned that she didn't want to go back to how she grew up. She said that, and I felt vindicated because I've been saying that from jump. She is running from her past. So anyhow, back to the eyebrow shop, which I need my eyebrows done severely. Her friend said that Michelle's always been positive. What? I know hell froze over. There was laughter all over the world when they heard her say Michelle's always been positive. Positive where? Positive how? Positive with who? She's been nothing but Debbie Downer, miserable Michelle, mean Michelle, always complaining Michelle that didn't start with an M. Not mild-mannered Michelle. No, not mild-mannered Michelle. Mean, miserable, mad, manic Michelle.
You ate that.
And David's always been a trooper. Like David said, yes, I'm going to go with you to get my eyebrows done. And I know she was trying to do that as a dig, saying you're too hairy, David. He does have bushy eyebrows, but you know what? I can't stand when men get their eyebrows done. Like, yeah, I can get, getting rid of the unibrow right here, but I hate when I see men with arched eyebrows. Like, just leave them alone. So I really don't remember what the outcome was. But, later in the episode, they, met up with Dr. Pia. And let me just say this. Dr. Pia was putting in work.
If y'all really want to talk about it.
On last night's episode. She was putting in work with all of these people. More work than Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal have done in 18 seasons and 17 seasons before. Dr. Pia was putting in some real work with these people, and she was calling them to the carpet. So she was calling Michelle to the carpet because Michelle's like, he wants to be a provider. And that's something a friend of mine, we just had this discussion about being a provider. Women, that's the buzzword of today. Women want these providers and men, but it's usually something monetarily or fiscally that they're talking about. They want a financial provider, but a provider can come as an emotional support system, someone who does things for you, someone who's considerate of you. That's somebody who's providing. Money runs out. It can run out or the tables can turn. So you women who want these providers, make sure you're specific in what you want them to provide you with.
In the mind. Message.
All right. So, she just doesn't want, Michelle feels like she's worked so hard in her life and she's accomplished so much that she couldn't have accomplished in her little small town. And so now that she's been given David as a spouse, she feels like that's a slap in the face to all the work she's done.
I don't want no Okie from Muskogee.
But what Dr. Pia was saying, because she rolled that beautiful beam footage and told her what she said and showed her what she said she wanted, what both of them wanted. So, and then, Michelle was like, I see what you're doing here. I mean, she was getting annoyed because when you're confronted with your truth, it can be uncomfortable. And she was uncomfortable. So anyhow, let's go through Juan and Carla. Juan isn't attracted to Carla. And Carla's touchy-feely. She said she came from a family that's not touchy-feely. They yelled, which, a lot of people can relate to. I can relate to that. I'm not very touchy-feely. It wasn't until, my niece came around who's very, affectionate and lovable, and my dog, that's when I became more affectionate. Even I have friends, my friend I just visited, she doesn't hug. I barely hug. And I was like, give me a hug. But it was still kind of awkward. So I understand Carla needing that or desiring that in a partner because she's kind of running from her past. She wants affection. And Juan isn't here to give it to her because Juan isn't attracted to her. And he said it in such a roundabout way.
You're not that cute. And your hair is uneven.
You look dusty.
And I wish these people could just be direct, but at least he kind of said it. Like, the only person who's really admitted that they're not attracted to the person is Madison, and she's still kind of beating around the bush. But Juan isn't attracted, and Carla said, you know what, that's it. Well, if you're not attracted, that's a lot. And I agree with her, because for men, the physical attraction is everything for the most part. Men don't just say, oh, I love her personality. No, they don't do that. Like, I, as a woman, I've looked past looks for personality. So, but men rarely do that. And I would be like, okay, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not trying with you, because all Juan wants to do is promote his app and his businesses and try to act like, and they were trying to paint Carla like she's just this lazy bum, because Juan had to point out that she's just waking up. It's 1:00. I've been for a bike ride. I've been for all this stuff. But you had time for a bike ride. You had time to do all this stuff, but you don't have time to spend with your partner and get to know her and, get there, as he says. I'm not there yet with attraction. He's never going to get there.
That's what she said.
Because you know what? He wants a white woman. Or maybe he wants a white man. Who knows? But Juan doesn't want Carla. So anyhow, let's get to what I really want to talk about. Aity and Imim. They start off talking to Imim in the most awkward, worst. Well, first of all, Imim was talking to her friends about the aggression comment that, she wasn't being aggressive. There's nothing about Imim that's being aggressive. Thirsty? Maybe yes.
Well, the thirst is real. The thirst is real.
Right. Imim has been nothing but gracious to him and giving and trying to figure out things. But this bum, this clout chasing bum, just really wants to be on TV and be known and seen, but he's making an excuse that, he wants to get to know her, and by her asking him questions, that's not getting to know her. Now, okay, in his defense for a little bit, I don't necessarily think that questions are the best way of getting to know someone. Just being around people and seeing how they move and function and operate, but you do have to ask questions, and y'all don't have the luxury of time to just hang around somebody and catch their vibes and to see what they're like. You need to ask some questions to get to know people. And maybe he just hasn't articulated it well, but I'm not going to defend him at all, because he's a jerk. He is living proof of B and ends with N. I mean, Ness. Bitch assness. Okay? That's what he is. He's a jerk. He's a douche. He's all those things. He's a whiny man. He doesn't even seem like he's 41 years old. He just seems like a child, and he's pouting. He came in there with Dr. Pia when they were meeting with Dr. Pia, and with this attitude, this stank attitude, like, I'm here to learn. Like, what?
Oh, hell no.
And then the fact that he's from Houston and I'm from Houston, and he says he's not used to women, I'm from the South. I'm not used to this aggressive stuff. She's not even being aggressive. Now, having lived in Chicago for 19 years, I do know that women in Chicago tend to be a little bit more gruff, if you will. They have a slight edge, not like New York girls, but don't start no one, be none is their motto, it seems, for a lot of them, not all of them. But for him to put her behavior off on, where she's from, or basically saying that he's not used to that behavior is just really whack. Aity is a gaslighter. And he basically, in so many words, basically incriminated her. And she has a medical practice. He was basically saying that she was treating him like meat. Like, dude, you don't have enough meat. She was trying to get to know you. And the way you were acting all phony, although the viewers recognize that you were being phony on a honeymoon, she maybe thought, well, if he didn't make a move, somebody needs to. But you know what? If I had to make a move and I was getting turned away, I would be out. I hope, because, man, the clips for next week, it's gonna be good. I hope. It looks like it's gonna be good, because I think like Latifah MM has had it up to here, because the way I was so pissed at the way he was talking about her. And I'm glad Dr. Pia kind of called him out for being passive aggressive. But I don't like the way she tried to spin it back to save the show. Well, tell me what it is, how you want to learn about her. And then later on, they went to her office where she was giving Botox to somebody so he could see it. I didn't think that was the best way of getting to know her, because that just probably made him resent her more. And the thing that I said last week, Ikechi acts like he has this high-power job. Dude, you're a high school counselor. At best. A counselor. He acts like he has this high-powered corporate position that requires so much time that, you know, he has to go to bed at 9. He went to the gym. But he is the douchiest of douches. He is...
Come here, you old fool dog mark ass trick. Give me some love. What's up?
He has an inflated sense of self, but he is just a big old baby. The way he was pouting, holding his face, I'm here to learn. Like being a jerk. He's just a jerk. I wish I had more adjectives to describe him right now, but I don't. So anyhow, next week's going to be good, because, you know, who cares about, I'm tired of hearing about Michelle and David. I'm over it. I want to get to the bottom of this Ikechi and Imim stuff. Like, she needs to read him his rights so he will know not to F with MM. All right, so hit the like and subscribe button and drop into the comments. Till next time, peace.